I spoke too soon.
I went to bed late last night, later than I would like to, and I'm woken up a bit late, and I'm running late, as always, to go meet my mate Tony Riddle. And I've got myself my matcha green tea and feeling a little bit like, oh my god, what time is it? So I'll try and take you with me on my little movement session with Tony, and then I'm going to start preparing my homework for tonight's second workshop at the School of Comedy to prepare for my second week of stand-up comedy training. It's a bit windy, so I don't know if you can hear me. Made it, not too late, probably like a couple of minutes. If you've never been to Camden, you're missing out. It's pretty lively. Last time I was calling a mate and he could ask me like, where the hell are you? Sounded like I was in some festive place. No, it turns out it was Camden. I feel like shit this morning, people. I feel like shit. There he is, showing off his moves. Yeah. How you doing, pal?
I'm looking there. So you put some hand placement. Better. Much better. There you go. Now you're extended. Stronger this week. Done.
I spoke too soon.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is Tony Riddle.
Hola.
If you haven't met Tony yet, go and give him some love on Instagram.
Where am I looking anyway? I should be looking. I'm going to look at you. How about that? How's that? There, little. Oh,
It's so weird. So Tony, how's my lizard walk on a scale of 1 to 10 right now?
I'd say we're actually at a 7.
What?
Yeah, you are, because as I say, it's all in the foundations of the movement. And the foundations are there really now. Now we can explore and we can put all the amazing, you know, lovely drama of the lizard in, but ultimately it's about the foundation.
It's being very, very generous.
So the extra 3, the 8, 9, 10 comes in the drama, but we're up to a 7 with foundations, I would say, yeah.
Awkward high five. Thanks people, Tony Riddle, you're at Tony Riddle.
At Tony Riddle. No, at The Natural Lifestylist.
Oi!
At The Natural Lifestylist.
The Natural Lifestylist.
Boom.
Boom. So I've just finished my session with my mate Tony, and I'm going to go and head out, do a bit of work, and then I'm going to prepare my homework for tonight, which I've already started working on a little bit this week, but I need to crystallize it and print it so I can take it with me to class, like a student again. But that was an awesome session. I felt so good actually. I felt really lots of vitality, and I don't think it's a coincidence because last night's talk really nourished me in a way that I hadn't felt in a long time. I hadn't been on stage in a while. Last time I was, it was a bit weird. But last night the crowd, I mean if you're watching crowd, you were amazing. The audience was great. I just felt a great flow. Came out on a high and woke up, even though a little bit tired and late, on a super high energy. So off to do some work, homework, and then off to the second class of my stand-up comedy course. Wish me luck. Okay, so I'm actually late for the second class. I also forgot the battery of my camera, so I can't film with my actual camera, which is a nuisance. And I've just made it about 5 minutes late. Looking forward to today's class. We'll let you know what's up. We're just on a break, and first time today actually, we all stood up and performed something that we prepared, that we were told to prepare. And what was amazing to see was that some of the fellow students were like amazing, like really good, really funny, like almost I was thinking, is this your first time? That's crazy. And I felt mine was totally shit. Like I just thought, oh my god, I've got like such a long way. So how I'm feeling right now is the feeling of just like, it's in 5 weeks, 4 weeks, the actual gig. I've got a long way to go, and trying to not like judge and compare, because I think that's the easy thing to do. But it's tough. It's definitely an emotionally tough journey, which Keith, the director, told us it would be. But congrats to all of my fellow students on the course who stood up and tried something. It's super scary, I find. So we're just going to finish up the evening with our new tutor C, and I'll try and catch my thoughts at the end too. So it turns out that actually I didn't have time to record my thoughts after the second session of my stand-up comedy course, but I made a bunch of notes that I just wanted to share with you, a few takeaways that really helped actually shift from how I was feeling to actually how I left that evening. Right, so the tutor for the second course workshop was a stand-up comedian called Mr. C, and what I loved about what he brought was actually a very kind of deep understanding of what comedy really is all about, and it really helped me shift my mindset from the first part of the workshop, where I felt frankly like shit, and I felt like all these saboteurs and these gremlins and that kind of negative inner bully was speaking about how I bombed and how it wasn't funny and all this stuff and blah blah blah. And actually the second part was brilliant because he kind of shared a lot of his experience over the last, I don't know, maybe 20 years or 10 years of being a stand-up comedian. I can't quite remember. And like some of the kind of the truth bombs and nuggets around what it actually really takes to succeed as a stand-up comedian, but more than that, what actually comedy really is all about at its core. And here are a few things that I took away in no particular order. For me, one of the most valuable points that C shared with us was this idea that whatever you're going to tell, whatever you're going to share, has to be something that is funny for you first. Like, if you love it and if you find it funny, then you would tell it no matter what, right? No matter how the audience would respond, no matter how people would laugh or not laugh, you would still tell that joke or tell that story. Or it's exactly the same thing. This has to start with you. Like, it has to make you laugh first. Because if it doesn't make you laugh first, then how the hell are you meant to tell it? So make sure it makes you laugh first so you can tell it. Another area that we explored is this fear, right? Like the words attached to what happens when a joke fails in an audience. People call it bombing, people call it dying on stage. It's like pretty radical, right? And so the amazing gift that he brought to me, at least, was to explain that no matter what happens, even if your joke doesn't go to plan or if it's not as crisp as you like it to be, what you're getting is feedback, and everything is feedback, no matter what, whether that's booing or laughter, different levels of laughter, it's all feedback for you to feed from. There's a couple of moments where I was actually quite moved. One of them was when he said that some of you are here because for years you've been running away from something that's been calling you. Comedy's been calling you and you've been shying away from it. And that really landed for me, because that's exactly how I felt over the last 10 years. This thing's been calling me and I've always been afraid and terrified of it. So that was one of the second thing that really brought it home for me, was how he explained that before we could talk, before we could walk, we could laugh. And so we are naturally wired to laugh. So making someone laugh is the most natural gift you can give to someone. And I think he brought it home because I have a 7-month-old baby, and it's true, like, she's laughing, you know? She can't talk, she can't walk, but she smiles and she giggles and she can laugh. And so it's something that we're all born with. Another area that I thought was really interesting was that actually comedy will accept you as you are. Like, your full self, bring it all. You know, if you look at some of the comedians that inspire you, and we actually had to think about people who inspired us, like, you'll notice that they bring something out that maybe you haven't given yourself permission for, right? Maybe they are daring to have conversations that you're thinking deep down but don't dare to say out loud. And that's why comedy is such a gift, because it can actually be a healing process, something that C talked about as well. It's the place where you can bring pain and truth and heal in the process, which I thought was such a beautiful way of putting it. This is something I've heard quite a lot around. Not everyone is going to get you, and that's okay. And he calls it, don't play safe with your writing. He closed up the session explaining that actually stand-up is about standing up on who you are, bringing your experience with you, and as a result, setting yourself free in the process. And one of the questions he left us with that really, again, landed with me was, how brave are you willing to be? How far are you willing to explore who you really are? And in his own words, that's when you look at your soul. That's when you deal with your pain, with your losses, with your grief, and they actually share that experience in order to shift the audience perspective and give them tools to change the way they see it. That was it. It was a really incredible, for me at least, a very incredible session, because it shifted completely from the first part of the experience where I felt awful to secondly, it was like opening my mind and horizon and really a deeper understanding of what this is really all about. This is about accepting who you are and letting the world know about it. It's about not shying away from what you feel, what you think, and what you see, and actually being brave enough to step up and share that. And that's something that I've always been about, you know, owning your voice, sharing your voice, letting the world know what you're about and what you stand up for. So it's been an incredible journey, and make sure to tune in into next episode of what I've now come to call vlogumentary of my journey to my stand-up comedy debut, where I'll take you with me behind the scenes of me preparing my homework for the 3rd week of my stand-up comedy course, as well as taking you behind the scenes of me giving a talk to the future speakers at TEDx Clapham to give them a few of my wisdom and nuggets that I wish I'd known before I gave my own TEDx talk at TEDx Cardiff a year ago. Can't wait for it. Fingers crossed, we're like 3 or 4 weeks away now, which feels nuts. Thanks for watching, appreciate all the comments, all the thumbs up, and if you enjoy this series, make sure to subscribe to this channel. That's it for now, I'll see you next time. Oh no!